So equipping them with skill sets and opportunities to flourish. Dan often says, sometimes you have to flounder in order to flourish. And that's one of the reasons that I really like Gather Round, is because it doesn't give you all the answers. Life isn't going to give all your kids all the answers. It doesn't give you, it didn't give you, and you had to learn where to find answers, where to go when you had problems, where to find truth in a situation and how to cope. So in order to do that, you can't just stick to a book. A book isn't going to do it. So your curriculum is just your tool. It's just you as a teacher's tool. It is something you're going to pull into there. It's part of your arsenal of equipment to help your kids learn. It isn't the end all be all. I missed part of this, but that's okay. We'll just continue on. It can, even when you find mistakes, and I know I posted on this a long time ago, but even when you find mistakes in whatever curriculum you're doing, but in Gather Round, a picture's missing, a text is missing, a word is misspelled, even that is an opportunity to teach your kids that they need to do their best. There needs to be correction, but it's not the end of the world. It is just part of the process. It's part of it's part of grace. And so having truth, the truth of it, there's a mistake, we got to fix it. Grace in it's okay. And that allows them to learn that when they make mistakes, when they misspell things, when they forget things, it's okay. It's not, especially for kids that are perfectionists, that's a really big deal of not trying to allow themselves grace, and then allowing themselves to have grace, they can have grace for others. So using everything that comes as opportunities to teach and to use that as your tool. Life isn't going to be perfect. People are going to make mistakes. They're going to make mistakes. Part of it is showing them what grace looks like. The school of life is going to expose them to disappointments, unkindness, untruth, pain. It's going to expose them to legalism. It's going to expose them to gossip. All of those things, they're going to have to learn to cope with and to deal with, and you're going to about to equip them, even using your curriculum, even using your school, even using life around you as opportunity. You say, what does all of this have to do with freedom? Everything. See, we can get caught up trying to measure ourselves or our kids by knowledge, by tests, by the number of pages, by time spent, but really that just entraps us. It puts us in there. God gave you those kids. He has called you to homeschool, and He will equip you. And nobody knows your kids better than you. You know your kids inside and out. And we've spent a lot of time, Dan and I, at the hospital. And we're very fortunate because our doctors really pay attention to what we're saying and how we're responding and how we want treatments to continue with our daughter Hannah. And they say, you're the best advocate. You're the best advocate for your child. You know them intimately. You know what's good or what's happening before we do, before the tests show it. And you as a parent know as well. You may not be able to pinpoint it all, but you know it. And as you seek God, and as you question other people, and as you learn and grow, you will know how best to respond to your kids. And you love them. You want what's best for them. So your homeschool may be fairly structured. Mine was very structured because I needed that. Not all of my kids needed structure. Some of them really needed structure, but I needed structure. And so I taught with what I needed in order to maintain my house. And I needed to have these times that we did the formal part of our education, and then we could do fun other stuff. Some of my friends, They were totally unstructured. It was as they went. And at the end of the year, we both had arrived at pretty much the same place. And so to have the freedom to school the way that works best for you, for your family, for your sense of sanity is great. And I think that that's another opportunity to just be free to be you and to do things the way that works best for you. You're the teacher. It has to work for you. And your kids will learn and adapt. They're much more adaptable than we are. As we get older, we're less and less adaptable. I'm getting really inadaptable. So homeschooling is freedom to train up your child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Though that is big picture. That is not detailed. That's big picture. That is learning to put on the armor of God. It's learning to put on that belt of truth, to be able to have that as your center. Truth has to be your center, and being able to discover that in today's world is huge. It's an opportunity to teach them how to plan. You've heard the phrase, failure to plan is a plan to fail. So they can be in on, oh, we want to go to the beach on Friday, so this and this and this have to be done. Where is your thing? How much are you going to do each day in order to really accomplish that? Let them get involved in baby steps. Obviously, if they're in kindergarten, they don't have to plan out their week. But if they're in grade 8 or 9, they should be able to say, I've got to get this and this done. I'm not going to do that because I want to get this done because I want to go to the youth retreat. It's an opportunity for them to learn to serve others, to find joy in serving, to know that they are an important part of society and have a role to play from when they are the youngest to the oldest. How many of us have just seen a baby and the baby smiles at you and it changes your day? Well, they didn't even know, but they influenced you. And so for your kids to know that, we often want to give our kids all these platitudes of, oh, here's a sticker because you finished this page. Well, they were supposed to finish that page, or we got to do this. Those are great if they serve a purpose, but the greatest sense of accomplishment your children can get, their self-worth, is where they are an intricate part of the day-to-day lives of not only your family, but in others. Opportunity to demonstrate God's grace and love. It's an opportunity to search, to learn. God says, seek me and you will find me when you search for me with all your heart. Like that's a big thing in learning to search, to dive deep, to really want to know what is there. So I speak freedom over you. Freedom from comparisons, freedom from the trap of information and knowledge, freedom to utilize life, curriculum, mistakes, and disappointment, all as your tools. Those are all tools. Freedom to homeschool the way God wants you to homeschool. Freedom from judgment, that you have to do what somebody else deems is necessary. You have chosen to homeschool. You are, what's the word I'm looking for? When God called you, you are called to homeschool. In closing, I want to read to you a song. It's a song I love. It's written by Josh Wilson. It's called Dream Small. And some of you may have heard it before, but we teach our kids we want to dream big. Dream big, have huge goals, have all these things. But then if you don't have that, whether it's a season of life or for your kids, they're sitting there going, I don't know, what am I going to dream big about? I'm 9. So then they don't have any dreams, or they don't feel like there's anything in life that is important or would validate them. And we fall into that too. We'll maybe have some big push that we did and accomplished, and then you don't have something. And so this song just really encourages you that it's the little things in life that make a big difference, that make a huge difference in your life. So I'm gonna read it over you, and I encourage you to look it up on YouTube. Let them sing it over you, receive it, and pass it on to your kids. It goes like this. It's a mama singing songs about the Lord. It's a daddy spending family time the world says he cannot afford. These simple moments change the world. It's a pastor at a tiny little church. 40 years of loving on the broken and the hurt. These simple moments change the world. Dream small. Don't buy the lie you gotta do it all. Just let Jesus use you where you are, one day at a time. Live well, loving God and others as yourself. Find little ways that only you can help with his great love. A tiny rock can make a giant fall, so dream small. It's visiting a widow down the street, or dancing on a Friday with your friend with special needs. These simple moments change the world. Of course, there's nothing wrong with bigger dreams. Just don't miss the minutes on your way to bigger things, because these special moments change the world. Dream small. Don't buy the lie you gotta do it all. Just let Jesus use you where you are, one day at a time. Live well, loving God and others as yourself. Find little ways that only you can help with his great love. A tiny rock can make a giant fall, so dream small. Keep loving, keep serving, keep listening, keep learning, keep praying, keep hoping, keep seeking, keep searching. All of these small things, watch them grow bigger. The God who does all things makes oceans from rivers. So, dream small. Don't buy the lie you gotta do it all. Just let Jesus use you where you are, one day at a time. Live well, loving God and others as yourself. Find little ways where only you can help with his great love. A tiny rock can make a giant fall. Yeah, 5 loaves, 2 fishes feeds them all. So dream small. Thank you, and enjoy your day.
Is that it?
That's it.
What about the most important prime directive of you? To please your husband. This homeschool stuff is all good and fine and dandy, but it's to free up the evenings to serve your husband.
Wash his feet.
Yes.
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 There you go.
Anyways,
Bye.
from the wise matriarch, 30 years in the business, and from the camera guy who really just hides behind the scenes, have yourselves a wonderful day.
Okay, and we need to send it to Becca.